Hi, my name is Ken Powers. I first picked up a guitar when I was 7 years old. It was in the early 60s, and at that time my heroes were the Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul and Mary. I remember one night I was laying in bed in the early 60s and heard this haunting guitar sound and the voices of Simon and Garfunkel singing Sound of Silence. I was hooked. Over the years I would learn more than a dozen of Paul Simon's songs. It wasn't long before I started following artists like Bob Dylan, Gordon Lightfoot, John Denver, Dan Fogelberg. These were people that had messages in their songs and painted a picture. That was the type of music that inspired me and hopefully influenced the music that I would later write. In 1976, I recorded my first album, Moment in Time. Was definitely hooked on not just photography, but the music business, the art of recording. I soon became a manager of a recording studio in Orlando, the Orlando Recording Center, which was the second largest studio in Orlando at the time. It was soon surpassed when Disney opened up its double 24-track soundstage in the studio. It was a learning experience, and for me to really meet with a lot of wonderful musicians in Orlando area that were there because of Disney and Epcot. I got out of the music business and spent 24 years in law enforcement with the Statesville Police Department. Upon my retirement, I decided to reopen my studio, both photographic and sound studio. Statesville is known as the Crossroads because of Interstate 77 and 40 running through here. So I took that and called the studio Crossroads Studio of Statesville. Soon after doing so, we had a COVID breakout, and all of a sudden all business seemed to come to a halt. So I took the time to not just learn the new digital world of recording, but also to record some of my favorite songs. During this time, two good friends of mine regularly stopped by the studio. Eddie Gunn, who plays harp or harmonica, laid several tracks down on some of the songs, and on one of the songs I did, it was a Jim Croce song. Pam Simon came in and played the piano part for I Got a Name. The very first song I recorded in the studio, I recorded with this young man that was just graduating from high school. His name was Eli, and I heard him play Time in a Bottle, and he played the exact opposite part that I had learned. It's a duet, and so he accompanied me on Time in a Bottle, and I wanted to thank him for his participation in the project. Never had any formal music lessons. I played by ear, and because of that it takes me a long time to arrange these different instruments in my mind and to learn to play them for each song. This was a first for me in doing multi-track recording of different instruments. I want to thank some musicians that have helped me along the way. The Allman Brothers over the years have been a tremendous help to me. I'd like to thank Butch Trucks for introducing me to Scott Boyer from Cowboy and his song Please Be With Me. I also recorded on this album. Had the opportunity to meet him down in Orlando. I'd like to thank Lonnie Brown, who wrote a lot of the music for the Robert Cody Band. He has since passed away and was partners with me in a music publishing company. And I would like to thank him for writing some wonderful music. He also saved my life, and always be remembered. I put two of his songs on this CD too. I'd like to thank A.J. Croce, which is Jim Croce's son, for his assistance. He helped me with obtaining some of the licensing and procedures for going through that, and getting with the Harry Fox Agency for providing the licensing. Most of all, I would like to thank my wife. She has put up with me over the years and has supported me in this endeavor, even when things were slow, and couldn't have done it without her. One of the problems I ran into, though, was after a couple of years of recording in my spare time, I had done 18 songs that when it came time to master them, I realized that I had used up more than 80 minutes, which is a full CD. It's the equivalent of a double vinyl album, the old days when we put everything on vinyl. So I had to cut down the length of times between the tracks in order to squeeze everything on. It just fit perfectly. So one song will go right into the next. But because of that, this CD has got the equivalent of what would normally be a double album. Tried to keep the prices down as close as I could. The national average is $13.79 for a CD. But because of all the songs I put on, the licensing fees that had to be paid to the artists and everything, this is $13.90. And then, of course, I have 94 cents sales tax to keep the state of North Carolina happy. If anybody's interested in ordering one of these CDs, it is $14.84, and you can order it through Ken Powers Photography at Crossroads of Statesville Studio, Post Office Box 1751, Statesville 28687. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.